Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back in the video. This video I'm going to be going over the new Labyrinth support. So it's just in the form of just one monster, but I thought this monster was powerful enough to make a video on. So yeah, let's get started. So here's Arius, the Labyrinth Butler. So that's the art. If you guys want to see it, it's on the top left here. And then during the main phase, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the grave. From your hand, either special summon one Labyrinth monster or set one normal trap. It can be activated this turn. So I thought this effect was powerful enough that warranted its own video, even though it's just one card for Labyrinth here. I just think it's just a great generic hand trap that you can use. Any deck that really focuses on having traps in their decks can actually utilize this card, as it doesn't have any specific qualifications like criteria that needs to be met after, like, you don't need to have a Labyrinth monster on the field or anything in order to use this. It's just during the main phase, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the grave, and then you can set one normal trap card. That's basically, if you just want to use it as a generic use, that's all you need to know. I think it's pretty powerful for that reason, and I kind of wanted to cover why I think this effect is powerful here. And here we can start with Labyrinth Kuklak. So we actually saw Labyrinth Kuklak. Arius here is able to do the better version of Kuklak. So Kuklak had the quick effect of discarding in order to activate a normal trap card that was set this turn. The thing about this is obviously you need to have the trap already on the field, but after you do that, you can actually activate it. So obviously this is the better version just in this effect, and for that reason, yeah, it's pretty solid. And here we have Stovey as well. So Stovey, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the grave, and if you do, and discard one card, set one Labyrinth spell trap from your hand or deck. So again, this is similar to that effect, but this is only for Labyrinth spell or traps. So again, this one's just a generic discard, add it, and then set one normal trap, and it can be activated for this turn. So the thing about it is that it obviously, you can only, it has to be, the trap has to be in your hand. You can't just, if you just utilize a few trap cards, you're not gonna be able to really get the full value out of this card. This is mainly for trap decks in the future that just need a hand trap and want to utilize their traps during their opponent's turn. This is pretty great, especially if your opponent's going first. It's really disruptive and difficult for them to deal with. And we can see a card like this, Different Dimension Ground, which is a card that's already being played, not at a high rate, but it is seen in Labyrinth a bit. But this turn, any monster sent to the grave is banished instead. So this could be pretty fun to just use this. It's essentially a dimensional fissure for during your opponent's turn. You're just going to be able to activate it, and it'll make it a lot difficult for them to play through it if they have a lot of cards that revolve around the graveyard. And of course, we have Dimensional Barrier, which is a very popular card for Labyrinth players. Imagine popping this during your opponent's turn. You see what they play, then you can declare a monster card. So the way you would do this is that your opponent would play a card, and then you could just, in response, activate this, send this card from your hand or field to the grave, obviously from your hand, and then you're going to set one normal trap, and the normal trap would be Dimensional Barrier. And because it can be activated this turn, you can just activate it again in response to something that they try to do. Then you can declare a monster card type. So let's say they're playing with Blackwing. You can know this declare Synchro. And then for the rest of the turn, either player can special summon monsters that declare a type, also negate the effects of all monsters on that type while they are on the field. So boom, it's going to be very difficult for them to play through that. So if you're already utilizing a card like Dimensional Barrier, it can be pretty powerful to just have this here. Yeah, it's just a pretty powerful monster hand trap. And I think for the deck, it's going to fit a unique role of just being a hand trap for the deck. So when your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of a Labyrinth card or effect, except this card, or of a normal trap card or effect, and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card out. If they just reactivate it in response to any of your cards, then you're going to be able to bring this card back out. And of course, the reason for that would mainly be to utilize this effect once again, as you are able to send it from your hand or field to the grave in order to set any normal trap. So I just thought this was a pretty powerful card, and I think it's going to be utilized quite a bit. Curious how Labyrinth users are going to use it, and for non-Labyrinth users, if they're going to think this is going to be interesting at all for potential trap decks like Trap Tricks or whatever that already see a lot of traps in their hand. Of course, the only caveat about this is that it is only for normal trap cards. So if you are running floodgates, like a lot of floodgates, and they are going to be continuous traps, so you're not going to be able to use this card. But of course, if you run cards like Dimensional Barrier or Different Dimension Ground, then that could be pretty fun to see. But let me know what you guys think about this card. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. We're so close to 1,000 subs, so I'd really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.